Hey, it's Matt, BlindGuysGarage. All right, so I don't remember where we left off, but here's where we're at. We had to order new head gaskets, as I'm sure you already know. So here we go. We're gonna pull this head back off. We've already checked the piston to valve clearance with this gasket and our push rod clearance. Our rocker arm push rod length. There we go. And they look good. I did not really show you that. I did it off camera. So here's the other side of it. I'll show you it walking through the steps right here. Look at this back valve, and it's all the way closed. As you open it, you'll see it rolls just about perfect. From that just over center to just over center. So there you go. That works out nice. Now what we'll do is we'll get this head off this motor. We'll measure this head gasket and make sure it is an 04 or an 039 like I think it is. And as long as it is, then our new 5.3 gaskets, 0.053 thick head gasket will alleviate our piston to valve clearance issue. So here we go. Let's get started. All right, so we got these little bitty checker springs on here. All you really have to do is push down on the checker spring, and you should be able to pull the keepers out. One. And two. No valve spring compressor needed. There's your keepers. There's your retainer. There's your checker spring. Alright, I'll put a couple of these springs on now. Hopefully I've got everything set in the right angle and stuff. It should just fall back together right here. Like so. Then what we'll do is we'll push this little button right here. It'll start squeezing tight. This spring compressor is really probably not designed for doing the job that I'm doing with it. When I say probably, I mean it's almost guaranteed it's not designed for what I'm doing with it. There's that one. I would squeeze it just a little more. Now we should be able to get this one to hook in right here. There it is. Now you start easing the pressure back off. There it is. Pressure's off. And you have one spring done. So let's go and do the second one. So now, just drop this baby on here like so. Drop the retainer on here like so. And we're going for it. Here we go. I could use just a little bit of adjustment on this thing. But we're not going to do this now. So just press it with our finger just a little bit and then squeeze it down. Keep our face out of the way. So when things want to get ugly, we have our keepers. Alright, let's keep going here. A little farther on the compression side here. And keeper. Now, I don't think I've mentioned it. But the keepers have a direction. Always make sure you put the fat side up. There she is. She is installed. So those two valves are done. We'll go and do the other two. Get those checkers off. But first, we do the valve spring check. That one's good. That one's good. As long as it don't fly apart, you're pretty much all right. Now we'll bring you back in a bit. All right, head gasket and cylinder head time. Finally. All this time later, we got a nice thick MLS gasket. It should crush to somewhere around 53 to 54 thousandths, where our other gaskets were crushing to about 38. So now, grab this brand new cylinder head. Take a quick peek at everything, make sure there's nothing, no trash, nothing like that. All looks good. Let's assemble this joker. Cylinder head set on. We got 2 bolts set right here just to get started, and then we will bring you back in a second because I have to put sealer on the rest of them. I know they come with a little bit of sealer on them, but I don't trust them. So I'll put a little bit of sealer on all the bolts as I put them together. I'll bring you back for torque. All right, installing the new head. And on this side, I have not, on the other side, I have not torqued it yet because there is 4 different head bolt lengths, which is weird. I thought big block Chevys only had 3. So I just want to make sure I put all the bolts in the right place. So I'm going to set both heads on. I've got all those head bolts where I believe they go, and they're all started. It's just kind of hanging out there. So let's get this one on and see what we got. I got to get some brake clean because this head's covered in trash. All right, here's our head gasket. We'll lay him up here as he belongs. We'll show you the gasket. They only go one way on a big block Chevy. You lay it here. So what happens if you flip it the wrong direction? Most people ain't going to put it together that way because it does kind of overlap the bores when you do that. So let's actually put it on the right direction. And there you go. See that? Lays up nice. Grab the cylinder head, shake it off, and it'll be ready to bolt on. Okay, set it up here. Dowel pins is lined up. Now let's find all the bolts that go on it. First things first, we'll start this guy because we know where he goes. And this guy because we know where he goes. Now you see the head's bolted down, it ain't gonna fall off. I'll bring you back once I figure out where all the bolts go. All right, torque the head down time. Just kidding. All right, time to torque some head bolts. We're gonna torque everybody. We've already torqued everybody at 25. Now we're gonna go back and torque everybody at 60. All right, so now we're doing the studs here. So we'll crack them loose. And every one of these is gonna get a little coat of thread sealant because most of the time these guys here go into the chain, into a, it looks like I might have already coated these. So let's find out. Let's find out together. Nope, maybe not. All right, so they all get a little coat of thread sealant because they tend to go into water ports and the intake ports, and the last thing you want to do is have this stuff push past or be sucked through the intake port, or not this stuff, oil. So that's what it keeps it from doing. It keeps it from sucking oil into the intake port and pushing water into the oiling system of the engine, both of which really suck. So we don't want either one of those things to happen. So we will prepare for these things with a little bit of thread sealant. So now that should make this one easier to put together. There we go. Run this one all the way in. Pull this one out. And every one of them gets a little bit of thread sealant. Just that simple. All right, now we're gonna hit these rocker studs real quick at about 50 foot-pounds, give or take. There we go. Let's hit them real quick. Here we go. Hey, let's turn it tight first. All right, that's it. Well, bring it back when it's time for something else. I don't know exactly what's going to be next. Front timing cover, rocker arms. We'll see. I know it ain't going to be intake because we ain't got one yet. Actually, we have one, but it's been powder coated. So, bring it back in a bit. All right. So, normally, well, I was going to show you kind of how I do this. Not the full video, but how I set these. But what I did with this one is I started grinding on one. As you can probably tell, some of the dust on my face and stuff. And I got thinking, wait, this motor had one in it when I took it apart because it was a roller cam motor. So I went and dug through all my parts and I found it. Put it in, and what I do is I'll put them in, tighten everything up, put the timing chain cover on without a gasket in it, and see how much clearance it had. It had very, very small clearance, like 2, maybe 3 thousandths, if that. Put the gasket in place, probably put you somewhere around 10, 12 thousandths. You want around 8 to 10, good enough. So I will not be measuring this one like I typically would because of that. But what we're going to do is we're going to set the timing cover on, put the gasket behind it, and just bolt it up. We're not going to do anything gluing wise because this gasket got pinched in the box that it was in. So we're going to make sure that it's going to lay out right and do what it's supposed to before I silicone it all down and all that kind of craziness. Just because I want this thing, I want to know this thing's not going to leak and be very happy with it when it's done. So that's pretty simple there. We've already Loctited these. I'm not going to flip the locks on them until I'm done, because if I choose to change timing covers, gaskets, whatever, it just saves me a little bit of time. And if I forget, I Loctited them, they're not coming out. So I'm not real worried about it either way. So having said that, I'm going to bolt the timing cover on. Then we're going to put some rocker arms on and some valve covers. We're going to finish this video up because it's been a long time going. I don't even know how much footage I have for it. Let's get started. All right, we're going to start with these roller lifters. As you can tell, they're pretty self-explanatory. Up with an arrow. And that's how they go all the way across. So we'll go ahead and set these babies in. These are Lanati mechanical roller lifters. Once again, get my big old head out the way. Up. As I said, these are Lanati mechanical rollers. So we will go through, drop all these babies in, and go from there. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and drop some push rods in too because I got them sitting here. So let's see here. If I guess wrong, just have to stab my stab. Then we'll know. There's that guy. Means I need a long one. There's a long one. I would wait, but kind of need them. Oh, that's too long. I need the push rods out of my way to open the box, and they just happen to be on top of the box. So, there we go. Now let's open this box up and start pulling lifters and put them in this motor where they belong. Our beautiful new rocker arms. Oh, and by the way, for those who don't know, rocker arms only go one way. If you look down inside them, we'll roll them to this side so it's less of a look. You'll see right here how there's no chamfered edge inside it. We'll roll them around. You'll see a chamfered edge. The chamfered edge goes up towards the top of the stud every time. All right. Well, I guess this is where we're going to finish this baby up at for the time being. Next time we see it, hopefully it'll be going on the run stand. So as of right now, we've got these nice valve covers that he had painted up. Personally, I would have left them aluminum, but they match the timing cover that he had painted, and some pulleys and other accessories. So I left these off so you can see what we got all going on under here. And I'm gonna ring in real quick for our full roller setup down in there. Isn't that nice? All right. So I guess that finishes up for this video. As always, if you like the content, like, share, subscribe, comment. I answer them all. And any questions you got, I'm here. So for now, I guess that covers it. Big Buck Chevy's as finished as it's going to be until I get the intake and parts back from the powder coater, and we'll get ready to put it on the run stand and fire it off. You will see that here on Blind Guys Garage. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Later.